Hello, and welcome to the Geek on My Sleeve channel. Today we're going to be doing a belated November to be read or TBR. We'll do a quick rundown of what all we're going to be geeking out about, and then we'll do a little more of a deep dive, why we picked the book. Alright, so November 1st is Raze, which is book 4 in the Completionist Chronicles by Dakota Kraut, read by Luke Daniels. November 8th is Children of Dune by Frank Herbert, narrated by Scott Brick and Simon Vance. It is book 3 in the Dune series. November 15th is The Singularity Trap, which is by Dennis E. Taylor, narrated by Ray Porter. Then November 22nd is The Golden Compass, part of the His Dark Materials series, book 1 by Philip Pullman. And I'm probably just going to put all the narrators up on the screen here. I'm excited. I haven't listened to the audiobook, but they have a full cast. I'm excited. Anyway, November 29th, Rhythm of War by Brandon Sanderson, narrated by Kate Redding and Michael Kramer. It is book 4 in the Stormlight Archives.
Super excited about this lineup. We've already done the first one at the point of recording this, but we'll still give it some love and do the rundown of Raze from the Completionist Chronicles. Depends on your perspective. Technically the fourth in the series, but they count it as book 3 because Rexus is a side quest. You can technically skip Rexus, but don't recommend you do that. It's a lot of fun. You get a lot of backstory of Jackson. The Completionist Chronicles, we're back with the full cast, building on the world, doing a lot of lore building. Get to see a little bit more of the first zone as well. Do our best not to get into any spoilers during our TBR, but it is well worth continuing, and it has some fun little Easter eggs for the new Dakota Kraut book, Something Murder Hobo, which was kind of fun to do. And Pete and I are both big fans of Luke Daniels and Dakota Kraut. So if you haven't checked out the lit RPG genre, the Divine Dungeon, the series before this, is a great gateway into the Completionist Chronicles and the lit RPG genre, so definitely worth checking out. Right out the gate, if you look at the back of the book, you'll see it, so it's not too much of a major spoiler, but humanity and Earth is in trouble. So this book is really about everyone in Eternium adjusting to the new influx of people. The Wanderers have established their own city, town, not city. It's officially a town. Towny McTown face.
Raze, this is what I love and I kind of dislike about Dakota. This book is packed with so many different events going on, which is all completely feasible due to his fast travel points. But some of the things that we have going on, I was really interested or excited about. So I wish they were a little more fleshed out, but it makes sense in the grand scheme of things. On to November 8th, Children of Dune. So personally, I've not listened to it yet. The Dune series is well known. I've started this journey. I enjoy book 1 and 2, so I'm going to continue throughout the series.
Minor spoilers from the first two. You don't want any Dune spoilers up until that point. Skip to the next um, bookmark below. So at the end of book 2, the twins of Paul and Janie were born. So, Children of Dune, we get a bit of a time hop, and you get to focus more on them and how the Atreides empire has developed since they've lost the first empire. Really relying on a lot of key figures that we met earlier in the series, but again, spoilers from the first two books. Paul and Janie are gone at this point. So we get to really get to know their children really well as some other characters in the universe that play a crucial role. This book is major buildup for my favorite book in the series, which is book 4, which we're hoping to cover next month. So definitely encourage you, if you haven't yet, join us on this journey. The Dune saga has greatly influenced all of science fiction from the 1960s moving forward, and it is a lot of fun. November 15th is revisiting another one of our favorite authors. We have covered Dennis E. Taylor's, narrated by Ray Porter, the Bobiverse series on this channel for our Geek Outs. So, The Singularity Trap is a standalone book by Dennis E. Taylor. Remind me, Pete, have you listened to this one yet?
Yeah, I've been through the Singularity Trap, and I really enjoy it, but it needs more. Knowing Dennis Ian Taylor, might be quite a few years before he ends up coming back to it.
Yeah, you got to pull him away from his snowboarding and all the other fun stuff he does. But yeah, quick rundown of Singularity Trap. It's very much of the everyman that comes across an alien intelligence, for lack of a better word, and how he deals with it and how the world kind of deals with him. A lot of fun. Was a quick read. Fun.
Yeah, it's futuristic, slightly apocalyptic. Yeah, yeah, not so much apocalyptic, I guess. It's more
It has the potential, right? Like,
overpopulation and economical constraints.
yeah. Well said. Again, we tried really hard to give you guys a snapshot without going into spoilers. Super excited about November's lineup, including November 22nd, The Golden Compass, Book 1 of His Dark Materials. This is probably one of my first, um, I'd argue it's adult uh, fantasy. I know it's kind of that borderline between young adult and adult, but it was the first adult fantasy book for me that got me really interested in the genre and kind of whetted my palate for it. Um, if you haven't already, it has an HBO series that's really fun, worth checking out. But if you haven't already and you haven't read the book, start with the book.
So, this is going to be a little weird for me because I remember there being a video of it. I've never actually gone through the book itself, I don't believe. And I was young, do not remember a lot. The only things I remember is epic armored bear, little girl, golden compass. So I know the story is well known. I'm excited that they've got a full narrating cast. Yeah, so I'm not a whole lot of help, but I am excited. And maybe we'll do a little bit of a compare and contrast of video versus book.
I'm down for that. I'm down for that. So I have listened to this relatively recently this year. Pretty much, you follow this little girl, and in their world, pretty much have like your spirit, if you will, um, is the form of an animal. And up until you hit puberty, it can shapeshift. And then after puberty, it takes on a permanent form. And it's really interesting to see the different personality types with their paired demon, is what they call it. Yeah, yeah. So it's a really interesting series. Um, Gosh, I got a couple other buddies who have covered this that do a good job doing a deep dive. There's some talk of the church, some talk of energy and spirituality and all that good stuff, and it poses some interesting questions. But as excited as we are about all this lineup, and I've listened to all of these books multiple times. We've been waiting for November 2020 for this next one for a while now. November 29th, Rhythm of War by Brandon Sanderson. We've been doing a read along, had a lot of fun doing some theory crafting last month over the series in general, and we've already listened to the first 16 chapters on YouTube of this series, and gosh, like, can't even really summarize it all too well for you guys, except for the fact that war is finally upon us. The singers have their ancestors, helping bring them up to battle ready war. Humanity is losing a lot of their major settlements to the Parshendi. Urithiru is not even fully awake yet, though we're living there. Dalinar is considered king of Urithiru. Um, Gosh, Pete, what am I missing for Rhythm of War?
So, first off, thank you, Brandon Sanderson, for releasing the audiobook chapters on YouTube. Thank you. As well as Bearded Bookworm, hashtag Moash did nothing wrong.
You guys have almost 2 weeks from release until when we're geeking out over it. So I know it's a good sized book. But I guarantee you, Pete and I will be through it at least 2 or 3 times by that point. So you can at least get through it once and then come hang out and talk about it with us, right? Challenge accepted. Yeah. Let us know below if you accept our challenge. If not, you can always catch our Geek Outs in the archive section on our channel.
And that concludes the November TBR. If any of these sound exciting, please like and subscribe so you can see when we're going live for them. Hit us up on Discord for any suggestions. We have quite the arsenal or archive of book selections, but we're always interested in finding new material.